The monorail stage. All the controversy around consistent presentation of targets for each shooter. I'm not going to get into that. I have my own feelings on that. Robert Wright built a great system here, and it was a lot of fun to shoot off of. When shooting from something like this, it's very difficult to get a walkthrough because you really don't get to shoot or get to see what it's like from the actual presentation of where you're at. This stage, you started seated in the cart, seatbelted in snugly so you couldn't scoot forward. And you'd have your gun loaded, which I obviously forgot, with all magazines coming from the bench. Pro tip, when you're doing a stage like this, where you only need to draw one magazine off the bench to reload during your stage, put 2 or 3 down in case something bad happens and you cannot grab a magazine or you drop something, so you have a spare. The best we could do was to walk down the side of this track and try to figure out what the view was. Here was my performance. We'll talk about it. The gun's already loaded. Now that you can see it here, there's a popper right here that when that popper is struck, that's what releases the card going down this way. When the cart hits the end, there's a little trip bar. Can't really see it, it's right about here. Sorry. There's a trip bar right here that was knocked down that releases these no-shoot steel from these targets and puts them to the inside. The stage, from the very back of the stage, let's get to the end here. There was a lot, I heard one person describe chaos going on this side. There was so much to shoot, and with those little boards in the way for hardcover, it made it very difficult. I underestimated how quick this thing moves down the rail, and I did not shoot enough of the static targets from back in this position. The shooters who did better in the stage shot more of it from the static position here. I tried to take off a little more than I could chew going forward up here. I threw 1 miss on this stage. And on a stage like this, if I throw 1 miss, I'm okay with that, to be honest, because it's so difficult. My other competitors are going to make mistakes also. So when you're up here on this one, if you shot a whole bunch from this back position, it turns it into a memory stage moving forward, so you don't double shoot things because you didn't have a lot of time to shoot things. I underestimated how quick this thing moved. First big bonehead move, I was concentrating so hard on when I wanted to hit the reload. That was my last thought. So what's the first thing I do? Slow mode, I put it for everybody. I go to stick a magazine in a gun that's already loaded. So that was a nice second I lost there. Shoot, I shot the high target that was hiding up on the wall up there because it was very, when you got closer, it was very wide and I don't have the flexibility. I took the 2 long targets that get protected by the no shoots when you move up, and then I took a target off the side and then I snapped to this popper. When I hit the popper, you can see there was a nice delay to hit a reload. Nice center hit, plenty of time to get the reload and get the gun up and ready to go. My 1 miss was right here on this low target. I got 1 shot. Knowing points were going to be important on this thing because everybody's time was going to be somewhat similar. I thought I was not correct on that. I saw some crazy times of people who really had time to sit here and look at this thing. So it was an interesting stage. It was fun. Should it be in an area match? I don't know. Because it just creates controversy. but it definitely was fun, and Robert built a great apparatus. R&R targets, everybody.